Hello, greetings everyone. Today I will continue with the events of episode 1144. God Nika Luffy together with the two giant captains face the five elders. Outside on the coast, all the navy soldiers including the vice admirals were extremely terrified when they witnessed four black smoke pillars rising to the sky. The sky was ominously dark and frightening like a living hell. Some soldiers realized this was exactly the same as when Saint Saturn appeared for the first time. Nearby the giant warriors were using bows and supporting the pacifistas to quickly wipe out all the warships. On the side of the two giant captains, they still led their crews deep inside to search for Luffy. While Frankie's group still did not understand what was happening but felt very worried, hoping everyone there would be safe. At this moment Luffy was surrounded by dense black hockey rays that he did not know exactly what they were. Sanji noticed something unusual and quickly found the answer, so he hurried away to inform Nami's group. At the Holy Land Mary Joie's inside the most powerful room, the four elders had left, leaving behind a burning magic circle. At this time Vegapunk was still enjoying hot fragrant coffee, waiting for the message to be sent to the world. Shaka believed no one was close enough to Egghead to block the signal, so in 7 minutes it would begin. Inside the island, Saturn was attacking Luffy with his long leg. Under the four magic circles, giant black silhouettes slowly began to appear as if summoned from hell. Luffy was horrified to see there were 5 terrifying monsters, but very quickly he regained his spirit. Time for the 5 elders was absolutely not strict, but they still had 7 minutes left to begin their plan. At present the 5 elders had manifested simultaneously at Egghead, an event that could shake the entire world. The first was the god of agriculture Jupiter, a death sandworm of Mongolia. He had the ability to burrow and move at incredible speed, attacking and swallowing prey with a huge mouth. His title was Sandworm, representing Jupiter. The second was Ethanbaron v Neuschiro, the god of finance with the form of a demonic horse made of bones. Neuschiro possessed an extremely terrifying ability with monstrous speed along with the Kitetsu blade that could cut through anything. His title was Bakatsu, representing Venus. The third was Topman Warkari, the god of justice with the form of a monstrous boar. Warkari had a body as hard as steel, granting him supreme strength to crush enemies with earth-shaking roars. His title was Hoki, representing Mercury. The fourth was Marcus Mars, the god of environment with the form of a giant bird monster. His title was Itsamade, representing Mars. He had the ability to spit ferocious flames and burn everything while also being able to fly. Finally was J. Garcia Saturn, the god of science and defense. He was an expert in using deadly toxins with his legs along with supreme regeneration. His title was the Gyuki, representing Saturn. Standing before these 5 gigantic monsters from legends, god Nika looked so small. Yet that small human carried the power of light and freedom for mankind without a hint of fear. As these 5 approached, everything here began collapsing. Luffy had to dodge and weave around these massive monsters. He urged the 5 old men to stop immediately and then transformed his body to become gigantic. But suddenly Saturn used light from his eyes to attack, forcing Luffy to shrink back. Suddenly Neuschiro used his extreme speed to rush forward, knocking Luffy away, then moved towards the forest edge. Over on the other side, while the pacifistas were still fiercely destroying the battleships, Neuschiro had already closed in. Unexpectedly, in just an instant, with the sword in his hand, he unleashed a slash that froze the circuits, making the pacifistas stop moving. The navy soldiers at sea discovered the pacifistas were taken down and only glimpsed something moving extremely fast. Shockingly, in such a short time nearly half the pacifistas had stopped functioning from just one freezing slash. Truly, with the Kitetsu in Neuschiro's hand, he was nothing less than a grim reaper. With such strength it is uncertain whether Zoro could even be a match if they ever crossed paths. Inside, it was now Mars's turn to flap his wings, causing a raging storm, blowing Luffy away. Ro Roy thumbs up min say dik don ban vuagway sang asterisk tiang an. Kiun win noi dong, va asterisk dat do fei jiang het ban gok tiang viet nay. Sanji nearby was hurriedly contacting Nami and Robin. He could hardly describe all the crazy things happening before his eyes, but they had no time to hesitate anymore and had to leave immediately. At this time the Navy scientists announced the neural circuits of the pacifistas had stopped, making them temporarily paralyzed. The soldiers hearing this were extremely overjoyed because there was no more internal chaos. Doberman immediately ordered everyone to go deal with Bonnie. He determined that the girl was going with the Straw Hat crew heading toward the northeast coast. More than half of the pacifistas had been disabled. No matter who they were, the Marines were certain they were allies. On the other side, Sanji was urging Nami's group to run as fast as possible. Because a true monstrous bird was flying right above them. As soon as he finished speaking, suddenly a hockey beam struck down. Luckily number 4 dodged it. At this time above, Nami still could not leave because they had not yet gathered enough people. Suddenly from the forest something rushed out. It was the sunny ship, making everyone jump in fright. Back at the battle, Saturn was still fiercely chasing, but Luffy could completely dodge. Suddenly the sandworm Jupiter lunged to attack, then quickly burrowed back into the ground, disappearing without a trace. As Luffy was straining his ears to listen, suddenly the elder shot straight up and swallowed him into his stomach. While at the forest edge, the horse elder still continued freezing the remaining pacifistas. Elder Mars above was flying at extreme speed, ramming into the dome, making it shake violently. Inside the dome, upon receiving the alert, Usopp contacted Sanji, currently already gathered with Brook and Lilith. The sunny ship was still fine, ready to leave at any moment. It turned out earlier the Saint had used bamboo bullets to stop the Sunny, making Lilith nearly faint from fright. Usopp told Sanji they would leave immediately, but since Zoro and Jinbei had not yet returned. Hearing this, Sanji became extremely angry at this point that Moss Head was still fighting, so he contacted Jinbei. At this moment the old man had already sensed the tense situation, so he probably had to use force to bring Zoro back. Nearby, the battle of Zoro and Lucci was still blazing hot with no sign of cooling. Lucci, after being pushed back, immediately used Tempest Kick with his legs, creating a circle that cut the surrounding trees. When Lucci rushed at Zoro, he was blocked by the swordsman's slashes. Zoro leapt up with extreme speed, striking, but suddenly noticed the presence of a strong figure nearby. After separating, Zoro continued to rush in, and both once again felt that mysterious power. This time, after the clash, Zoro's sword was knocked into the air. Lucci asked Zoro if he too could sense a terrifying haki covering the entire island. After confirming, they both continued to combat. Nearby, as the trees toppled, Jinbei saw his grandson Zoro, so he flew over. At this time, Lucci continuously launched kicks chasing Zoro, but still could not keep up. Afterwards, both continuously unleashed techniques at supersonic speed without deciding victory. Suddenly, Sanji called Jinbei, asking him to bring that useless Moss Head back immediately. On Zoro's side, he heard the blonde calling him useless, which made him furious. When Lucci lunged using Shigen, Zoro calmly dodged all the strikes. He moved upward, caught the falling sword, and used a new technique called three-sword style Hova spot hunt. Zoro charged forward, sweeping past Lucci like the wind, leaving him unable to react and defeated without understanding why. On Luffy's side, he had already been swallowed by Jupiter, but luckily escaped before the mouth closed. Yet while trying to explain that his meat did not taste good, he was suddenly grabbed by Saturn and thrown to the boar elder to suck his head. After that strike, Luffy was dizzy and Saturn hurled him straight into the sandworm's mouth. At this moment, the two giant captains nearby witnessed the scene and remembered the familiar face of Luffy. They believed a dark stomach was no place for someone like Nika. Finishing their words, the two rushed forward. Dorry grabbed Saturn while Brogy seized Warcury, then smashed the two together. Both quickly closed in on Jupiter, making the elder pale. A combined attack called Sun Saw was unleashed, cutting the earthworm in half, successfully rescuing Luffy. After coming out, Luffy immediately recognized they were the two giant old men from before. Hearing this, Brogy and Dorry laughed loudly, saying it had been too long since meeting Straw Hat, so they eagerly came here to welcome him. Thus, episode 1144 has ended. See you all next week on my channel. After watching, remember to like and subscribe to support me. Thank you. Love you all forever.